Hi there, my name is Kurt and I'm from Studio One Photography. This video is about how to prepare for your senior portrait or senior picture session. You want to make sure that you're ready when you're going to have your pictures taken, and there are some responsibilities on your part on what clothes to have, for example, and such. So let's just briefly go through that, and then you'll be better off for your session that way. So what will you be wearing? Is it pressed and neat? Don't stuff your clothes into a duffel bag and then bring them to the studio. Have them hanging up on hangers so they're neat. You want a variety of colors in your outfits. Don't pick all one color because that tends to limit the backgrounds that you can use. Even if you're outdoors, it'll tend to limit where you can go to the same places you've already been. Is your outfit too busy? Like plaids and stripes generally don't photograph as well as a solid color. Solid colors like this one aren't really going to change a lot, and you want something that'll look good 20 years from now, and you don't want to look back and say, man, what was I doing wearing that outfit? You want a variety of styles, and you want some fun stuff and more casual, but keep in mind you should have one outfit that is more a solid color. Usually what I recommend is darker colors, and also have long sleeves. Okay? Think timeless. 2, accessories. You don't want to forget them, first of all. Belts, jewelry, musical instruments, uniforms for band or sports, anything like that. Make sure that you have that with you. Also make sure that your uniform or your musical instrument or sports equipment or whatever is not locked up at the school and you can't get it. So make sure you get that ahead of time so you know that way you'll have it for your senior portraits. Hair. Make sure you get your hair cut about a week before the session if you're needing a haircut. Don't wait until the same day your session is. Get a haircut, not like how it turns out, and then go to your senior picture session, because that is not really what you want there. Also, it's not really the best time to experiment with a new hairstyle. So have it cut nice in the style that you typically wear. Fingernails, especially the girls, make sure they are like you'd like them to be in your pictures. You don't want really wild colors or anything unless that's ordinarily what you wear all the time. So more like a clear or timeless sort of nail polish is going to look better for you. Shoes and socks, don't forget them. Make sure they are appropriate for the type of outfits that you're going to be wearing. White shoes tend not to photograph well on darker backgrounds, so if you're outdoors or downtown on asphalt or something, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to be photographed without having the shoes jumping out at you in the picture. So that's something to keep in mind. Number 6 is really important. Be on time for your appointment. I know that there's a lot of things to remember and stuff. Kind of gather it together, get it ready the night before, and that way you'll be more or less ready to go. All you got to do is put stuff in the car, or even have it in the car the night before, and that way just drive here. If you're early, it takes about 5-10 minutes to get you in the computer and fill out some paperwork and such. I like to use that time a little bit to let people settle down, check themselves over and such, and then we'll start doing your pictures. You got to remember that as much as we want that day to be about you, I do have other clients that are going to come in too, and I can't have your appointment bleeding into theirs. So you want to make sure that you are on time. know your yearbook requirements. Now, some of the schools around here, like Jackson and Lumen and stuff, already know the yearbook requirements. However, most of the schools, including Jackson, send out a list of your yearbook requirements, and you need to bring that with you because it might have a contact that I can email the picture to. Some schools still want prints. Jackson still wants prints, for example. So you want to make sure you have that information. You'll want to know when the deadline is as well, and any requirements for your pictures as well. Glasses, make sure that the frames are in good shape. These frames, honestly, I keep banging them against the cameras all the time, so these aren't my best glasses. But you want to make sure they look good in the pictures, and basically they look good in real life that way. If you can, try and get your glasses done so you can take the lenses out. I don't have to worry about glass glare that way. Sometimes with some lenses it's not a problem. Sometimes with certain lenses it is a problem. If you have transitions lenses that turn dark, definitely if you're going outside or to the park, get the lenses taken out, and you can put them back in later. Or even if you go to an optical shop where you bought your glasses and say, hey, I'm doing my senior pictures, a lot of times if you put down a deposit, they'll let you borrow a blank pair of frames in the same style. Also, the night before your portrait or your pictures, make sure you get a decent night's sleep. I don't want you coming in all with eye bags and droopy and stuff, because you don't look your best that way. So that's important too. Don't worry about blemishes that much, because we retouch the pictures and we remove blemishes and we do some work on eye bags and white teeth and all that sort of stuff. So don't worry about that type of thing so much. We'll take care of that later. The things that are harder to take care of are things like glass glare, and also, don't sunburn. Sunburn is so difficult to retouch, and you're going to incur an extra charge to retouch because you turn red and people peel and all sorts of things. So, and honestly, people don't look that good if they're burned. I don't know if anyone looks good when they're burned. So be very careful of that. Also, the tan lines and such. Guys, if you can, I feel like a fresh shave is kind of important. Because the style might be scruffy or a beard now, but it'll change eventually. You want this to be a good presentable picture. You might send a copy of this on your college application, so you want to look really good on some of them, okay? So a fresh shave is really important. Girls, have your makeup be natural, maybe a little more makeup than normal. It doesn't photograph as heavy as the makeup you think you're doing. Also, make sure you do not wear glitter makeup. Part of the reason why glitter is in makeup and it looks fun is that it shimmers when you're moving. Well, if you have a picture where you're not moving, it just is a white dot, and then I have to retouch it out. So if it's just one or two shiny spots, it's not that big a deal. But sometimes if you have a lot of it on, it can be a real problem, and you're going to incur an extra retouching charge for that. So try and avoid that if you can. Lastly, braces. Braces can be removed by your dentist. It might have an extra charge for that, probably will. Or sometimes people will wait till, hey, my braces are going to come off and then I'm going to do my pictures afterwards. That's all fine. If you're going to have your braces taken off, though, make sure you do not do it right before your photography session, because people take them off, and sometimes the gums are swollen up on people after they're taken off for like a couple days. So it's a good idea to wait a few days, have the pictures taken, then if you need to have them put back on, have them put them back on then. But don't do it don't be photographed right after they do that. We can remove braces through retouching. In all likelihood, it probably does not cost as much as having your braces taken off for real. That's something that is done at an additional charge, but if you want prices on that, call the studio, because it's kind of picture dependent, and we usually go over that after your session. I hope this has been a good guideline to some things that you should do before you have your picture taken. Please feel free to follow this channel on YouTube. We're going to have some upcoming videos coming out soon. And thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.